All right, y'all. Carl Lentz is making the media rounds once again. I saw that he did the interview or the new podcast that he has. I haven't watched it though. I really don't have any interest in watching it, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I did see this video, this story from, what is this, like ABC Nightline or something like that. Carl Lentz opens up about infidelity that led to firing from megachurch Hillsong NYC. So this was just posted just a few days ago. Let's see what is going on. I haven't been following this story too much. I mean, I wish the best for him. Like, I know we all make mistakes and God has grace and mercy. I just kind of lost interest in this story, but let's see what they're talking about in this interview right here.
Adultery, betrayal, secrets, part of the human condition since the beginning of time. And if you live long enough, you've likely experienced it or loved someone who has. Tonight, a look at all three through the eyes of a very public couple who experienced all three in a very public way. Carl Lentz was once one of the most popular preachers in America. This evening, he's just like a lot of us. As the old saints would say, a sinner standing in need of prayer.
Transformation?
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good to see you.
From rock star pastor to regular parishioner, Carl Lentz's road to redemption is steep, long, and far from over. And from boyhood to manhood, Sunday service, both sacred and sacred.
Y'all don't understand what I'm saying.
Today, it's his soul in need of salvation. There's that saying that power and money and prestige don't change who you are, it reveals who you are.
It's true. Money and
It's so interesting that he's at Transformation Church in that capacity. And like, so is Mike Todd his pastor? That's so interesting to me. I'm not even gonna get into all. Like I said, everyone needs forgiveness and redemption and grace and mercy. So, I'm not upset that he's seeking that forgiveness. And the fact of the matter is, he's already been forgiven, right? But I'm trying to be nice today. Let me just continue.
Saying that power and money and prestige don't change who you are, it reveals who you are.
it's true. Money and influence revealed that I was a broken guy that had some serious flaws that I could function with for a long time until you couldn't.
Correct your course and keep you closer to the shepherd.
For a decade, he espoused and shouted salvation to others.
Do better than that if you got any reason to be thankful tonight.
Thousands at a time. He was lead pastor of Hillsong NYC.
This is our God. Left to the right. Let's sing it out tonight. Spirit lead me.
Not just one of the most famous megachurches in America, Hillsong, the brand, was one of the fastest growing, hippest, high-energy religious movements on earth. A diverse and youthful congregation, and celebrity drip like jewelry. Followers included actress Vanessa Hudgens, basketball star Kevin Durant, and pop star Justin Bieber.
I just want to love Carl more.
You're doing a good job of that.
Carl Lentz was all that, until he wasn't. When his extramarital affairs made headlines, he was fired in 2020. Done.
A celebrity pastor admitted cheating on his wife.
Carl Lentz was a prominent pastor at Hillsong Church until he was fired.
And now the mega popular church announcing an investigation into its New York City branch.
The church itself embroiled in several controversies as well. And even to this day, Carl Lentz is still loathed by many online. How did you let it fall apart?
My whole life.
Yeah. Why couldn't you keep it in your pants to keep it in control?
Well, that wasn't the primary.
I don't know who this guy interviewing him is, but that coffee must have been strong this morning because he's feeling bold. What did he say?
You let it fall apart.
My whole life.
Yeah. Why couldn't you keep it in your pants to keep it in control?
Well, that wasn't the primary thing that got me in trouble. Wasn't a sexual thing. It's not like I was out, looking to have sex or looking to commit adultery. I had deep brokenness that manifests itself in a lot of different ways.
Do you want to change?
I'm changing.
Tonight, Carl Lentz like you've never seen him before.
And the truth is, I was digging my own grave.
The depths of his demons. A recovering sex addict.
I say recovering drug addict, recovering sex addict, sure.
His wife Laura sharing her darkest moment.
What was the lowest point for you?
I think the lowest point was, can I talk about that?
And the reasons she decided to stay. In the mid-2010s, Carl's public profile reached its peak, extending all the way to Hollywood, baptizing Justin Bieber.
There was a night where he wanted to renew his faith and he wanted to get baptized again. One of the most powerful things I've been a part of.
Pastor Lentz popping up on talk shows like The View.
You really don't look like any pastor that I've ever seen.
Interviews with Oprah.
I don't believe it's some ambiguous, like the wind blew, and you're like, oh, the Holy Spirit. I believe that there's like
It's a thing. It's a power. It's a force.
It's God moving in your life.
Yeah.
How did it hit you being known as a celebrity preacher?
You just shrug your shoulders. I mean, it is what it is. You can't control what people call you. And
You can't control it, but did you play into it? Did you kind of hype it up a little bit with the muscle shirts and the torn jeans and the tattoos?
Bro, he's on timing, and I am here for it. He ain't taking no... Hold on. Stop. He ain't taking no fluff. He really getting straight to it.
Brooklyn haircuts?
I feel like that's just who I was.
It's a normal, cool vibe when we get to just slow down.
We celebrate many different religions freely.
I've caught up with him many times over the past decade, both at his church and at his home. As a Christian living in New York, I sometimes attended Hillsong when Carl was pastor. I want to look back to the first interview you and I did in 2014. So take a look.
You can't fake who you are. You are who you are. So if everybody on our...
Who are you?
I love people.
Tell me what's up.
I really want to have, the same heart for people that Jesus did, which is to not see what everybody else saw, but try to dig a little bit deeper. I feel like that's how I was reached.
Was it fake?
No, I'm not that good. That's crazy to look at that now.
What do you think about that guy now?
Man, I just was looking at myself going, I have no idea what's coming down that highway. I think I was scared even there. I think I see it in my eyes there, just probably overwhelmed.
So what I hear you say is, at that time, your life maybe was already getting messy in private.
Yeah, for sure.
Behind closed doors, Carl Lentz was spiraling. Drugs?
Yep.
Alcohol?
No, never had a drinking issue. I was prescribed a drug to help with ADHD that I used most of my adult life. And towards the end of my time in New York, I started to abuse it really badly.
How many affairs were there?
I'm definitely not going to get into numbers. I feel like...
Wait, there's that many?
My time in New York, I started to abuse it really badly.
How many affairs were there?
I'm definitely not going to get into numbers. I feel like it was more than one and more that I got, caught for. But Laura's been through too much. My kids have been through too much, and I don't feel like it helps anything. But it definitely was not an isolated incident.
Are you a sex addict?
I'm a guy that was involved in infidelity. I definitely have addiction issues almost across the board. Sex addiction is never about sex. It's about trauma, and it's about what trauma produces, and sometimes it manifests itself in a sexual situation.
In November 2020, Hillsong informing staff and members they'd fired Carl after learning the extent of his indiscretions, citing several reasons including moral failures. Lentz writing online he was unfaithful in my marriage. When did Laura find out? How did she find out?
2 of my staff members came to get me to talk to me about what they wanted to talk to me about, which was, we found some things and we want to ask you about it. I need to tell Laura. Drove over to the church office and sat there and told her the truth, which still wasn't the whole truth. And that was the day it started to kind of unravel.
Do you remember what you said to her?
I said, I've been unfaithful, and it's going to come out. And I'm sorry.
Wow.
The sounds, the tears in that moment were the most painful thing in my memory. You know, but nobody deserves that, you know? So I'm you know, forever sad about that.
I'm struck by how when you said it to her, you gave her the sanitized description of it.
Yeah. Well, when you are lying,
he said you gave her the sanitized description of it.
Caught, your first instinct is, how much do I need to tell to make this work?
Wow. How come we can't get the full interview? This is wild. Watch the full episode here, or watch full episodes here. Okay, well, I don't even really, have y'all watched the his podcast? I wasn't sure if I wanted to watch it or not. I might end up watching it, but I just wasn't sure if I wanted to or not. It looks like they're doing well. They're doing a lot of press. It's very interesting how this is playing out. It's very, very interesting how media has changed. Because it's almost like he's on a press tour without really saying that he's on a press tour. But all of this ultimately promotes his new podcast. Even this video that I'm making right now promotes his new podcast, which I think was all a part of their plan from a marketing standpoint. And I'm not saying that's bad or anything like that, but it is interesting that I'll just leave it at that. It's very interesting. And I think that's probably why I didn't really want to watch it. But like I said, that might just be my own personal issues that I have. Because he's forgiven. God's forgave him. And I think that as believers, we should forgive him too. Do I think that he should be in a position of leadership? I don't. I don't think that he's going to go back into pastoring. I don't think he could. I mean, at Transformation, he probably could, because he probably could at Transformation. But anywhere else, I don't know if he really could. So I don't know, y'all. But that was a good interview by the interviewer. He really stood on 10 toes with that one. Let me know what y'all think, though. Get in my comments, like this video. I'm out, y'all.